Reading Malgudi Days by R.K. Narayan comprises stories about a young boy called Swaminathan. Swami lives in the small town of Malgudi. One evening, Swami is forced to sleep alone in his father's office. Read about the adventure he has that night. "Let me sleep in the hall, father," Swami pleaded. "Your office room is very dusty, and there may be scorpions behind your law books." "There are no scorpions, little fellow. Sleep on the bench if you like." "Can I have a lamp burning in the room?" "No. You must learn not to be afraid of darkness. It is only a question of habit. You must cultivate good habits." "Will you at least leave the door open?" All right. But promise you will not roll up your bed and go to your granny's side at night. If you do it, mind you, I will make you the laughing stock of your school." Swami felt cut off from humanity. He was pained and angry. He didn't like the strain of cruelty he saw in his father's nature. As the night advanced and the silence in the house deepened, his heart beat faster. He remembered all the stories of devils and ghosts he had heard in his life. How often had his chum Mani seen the devil in the banyan tree at his street end? And what about poor Munisami's father, who spat out blood because the devil near the river's edge slapped his cheek when he was returning home late one night? And so on and on his thoughts continued. He was faint with fear. A ray of light from the street lamp strayed in and cast shadows on the wall. Through the stillness, all kinds of noises reached his ears. The ticking of the clock, rustle of trees, snoring sounds, and some vague night insects humming. He covered himself so completely that he could hardly breathe. Every moment he expected the devils to come up to carry him away. There was the instance of his old friend in the 4th class who suddenly disappeared and was said to have been carried off by a ghost to Siam or Nepal. Swami hurriedly got up and spread his bed under the bench and crouched there. It seemed to be a much safer place, more compact and reassuring. He shut his eyes tight and encased himself in his blanket once again, and unknown to himself, fell asleep. And in sleep was racked with nightmares. A tiger was chasing him. His feet stuck to the ground. He desperately tried to escape, but his feet would not move. The tiger was at his back, and he could hear its claws scratch the ground. Scratch, scratch, and then a light thud. Swami tried to open his eyes, but his eyelids would not open, and the nightmare continued. It threatened to continue forever. Swami groaned in despair. With a desperate effort, he opened his eyes. He put his hand out to feel his granny's presence at his side, as was his habit. But he only touched the wooden leg of the bench. He sweated with fright. And now, what was this rustling? He moved to the edge of the bench and stared into the darkness. Something was moving down. He lay gazing at it in horror. His end had come. He realized that the devil would presently pull him out and tear him, and so why should he wait? As it came nearer, he crawled out from under the bench, hugged it with all his might, and used his teeth on it like a mortal weapon. "Ayo! Something has bitten me!" went forth an agonized, thundering cry, and was followed by a heavy tumbling and falling amidst furniture. In a moment, father, cook, and a servant came in, carrying lights, and all three of them fell on the burglar, who lay amidst the furniture with a bleeding ankle. Congratulations were showered on Swami the next day. His classmates looked at him with respect, and his teacher patted his back. The headmaster said that he was a true scout. Swami had bitten into the flesh of one of the most notorious housebreakers of the district, and the police were grateful to him for it. The inspector said, "Why don't you join the police when you are grown up?" Swami said, for the sake of politeness, "Certainly, yes," though he had quite made up his mind to be an engine driver, a railway guard, or a bus conductor later in life. When he returned home from the club that night, father asked, "Where is the boy?" "He is asleep." "Already?" "He didn't have a wink of sleep the whole of last night," said his mother. Where is he sleeping?" "In his usual place," mother said casually. "He went to bed at 7:30. "Sleeping beside his granny again?" father said. "No wonder he wanted to be asleep before I could return home. Clever boy." Mother lost her temper. "You let him sleep where he likes. You needn't risk his life again." Father mumbled as he went in to change. "All right, mollycoddle and spoil him as much as you like. Only don't blame me afterwards." Swami, following the whole conversation from under the blanket, felt tremendously relieved to hear that his father was giving him up. An excerpt from R.K. Narayan's short story, A Hero. R.K. Narayan, 1906 to 2001, was born in Madras, now Chennai. In 1935, he published his first novel, Swami and Friends. He won the Sahitya Academy Award in 1960 for The Guide. In 1964, he received the Padma Bhushan and the Padma Vibhushan in 2000. The British Royal Society of Literature awarded him the A.C. Benson Medal in 1980.